Okay. All right. Perfect. So, anyway, I am so glad that you're here. And again, you're not here because you're not talented. You're here because you want your visuals, your strategy, and your brand presence to finally match the level of work you're already creating. So, again, my name is Juliana. I'm a mom of two girls, a former calligrapher, and someone who built a six-figure business. Again, not because I had a team or a formula, but because I figured out how to make my aesthetics work for me. And today I want to help you do the same. So, words to live by, make it beautiful, make it bank. Now, here's the trap that I see creatives fall into, and it's believing that there's only one way to be seen as a high-end brand. And the biggest mistake is so many people believe that means making your content, your visuals light and airy. Now, I love light and airy, don't get me wrong. And if you are a light and airy brand, there is nothing wrong with that. However, I want to challenge you to kind of think outside the box today and, maybe what could be different. So, today we're going to talk about the aesthetic strategy framework. We're going to talk about the types of content you need, and then we're going to talk about 4 ways you can level up today. So here's the truth. Your dream clients don't want more of the same. They want you. And beautiful visuals, they're only powerful when they're paired with strategy. If you're posting pretty flat lays or professional brand photos with no plan behind them, you're not creating a brand. You're just creating a mood board. Okay, and I love a good mood board. Don't get me wrong, but we're going to change that. So your beautiful work doesn't always convert because stunning visuals don't equal a strategic brand, because posting without a plan leads to burnout, and you don't need to look light and airy to charge more. All right, so what is the aesthetic strategy framework? So this is all about what makes you different. What do your clients say about working with you? What do you naturally do well? And if you have a notebook, I hope you do have a notebook with you, I want you to write down a few things. And we're going to get into how to differentiate who you are from everybody else on the internet. So, first is let's define your superpowers. What makes you different? Like truly, truly different and special as a human being. What do you like to do? What are you passionate about? And I would love if somebody felt brave enough to share in the chat. What is it that makes you special? Because this is where we can start to differentiate our business. And that's where strategy starts. It starts with you and who you are, your strengths, your energy, your eye. So, a couple of things that I figured out about me that make me different and made me different as a stationer was my love of color. And this is something that I tried to shy away from for a very long time because everybody I saw online who I perceived as successful, they were doing light and airy. Everything was neutral, everything was beige, right? And I think that that can be so beautiful if it's authentic to you and if it's what you really love, but it's not what I actually love. I love color. I love parties. I love and in a specific way, right? Like I am not the confetti kind of color, but I am like in this image, I am pinks and yellows and greens, and I love color drenching things. And that's what makes me different. And what's important about that is when you start to tap into those things, those are the things that your dream clients are going to connect with. And they're going to want to pay you more to work with you because you connect with them on that point. So Julie Marie says, anything that makes you feel like a kid again. Yeah, absolutely. If anybody else would like to drop in the chat, like what makes your work different from anybody else's? And what do clients say about you? Do they love that you paint all your elements completely custom? Do they love your clean design style? What is it that they love about working with you? So one point here is I'll often hear stationers or custom clients that I'm working with or a coaching client say, oh, well, my differentiator is I provide great customer service. I have beautiful papers that I print things on. I have an exceptional attention to detail. While these are all wonderful qualities to have as a business owner, right? Especially in such an aesthetic world and you're dealing with paper, these are not differentiators. Hopefully, if you are a professional, everybody should have these things. So this is not going to make you any different from anybody else. You really have to think about what specifically about you your clients love. Is that landing? Does that make sense? Megan says, I design for my clients rooted with intention, not trends. I love that. So timeless. And then I would encourage you to dig even deeper. Like, well, then what does timeless really mean to you? Is it the typefaces you use? Do you do calligraphy? Do you um like dig into that style? And then you can really start building out this picture of what your brand is. And then think about what are your natural strengths? And again, this is where strategy starts. It starts with you, your strengths, your energy, your eye. I don't ever, after this workshop, I don't want to see any of you ever emulating anybody else online. Because that is the biggest mistake any business owner can make, is taking somebody else's aesthetic that they perceive as successful and trying to adapt it to yourself. Because it won't work. Because then you're just a watered down version of somebody else. I also see a lot of people, this happens in the flip too, where people say, oh my gosh, this person is copying me. Who cares? I mean, I know we care, right? Because our work is deeply personal, but also like it's not gonna land for them, right? It's not gonna have the same effect because they are not you. They don't have the same superpowers that you do. And so really staying focused and intentional in your space, in what makes you different is everything. All right, so once you have an idea of what your superpowers are, this is going to now get translated into your brand and your content and your visuals. And you do this through your color palette, your lighting style, your prop choices, your composition, and your editing. This is what creates cohesion. You're not just picking pretty things, you are styling, and I'm using styling in a loose way, like styling your photography, styling your Instagram feed, styling your website. You're styling your brand with intention. And this is how you go, again, from pretty content to recognizable brand identity. Now, there are a few stationers that I follow on Instagram that I am obsessed with. I can send them out. If you want to follow me if you don't already, follow me on Instagram and I will link some of these people later, maybe in my stories, whose brands are so unique and so recognizable that as soon as I don't even need to see their at to know it is their work. That is the goal. To do something that is so unique to you and your point of view that anybody who sees it instantly knows, oh yeah, that's Megan's work. Oh yeah, that's Kendra's work. Because of the way you're presenting it. Once you get to that point, you will have no worries about booking clients, getting the types of clients you want. How much are they going to be willing to pay? Because they'll know just from looking at your work, looking at how your brand feels, that you are expensive. And that's the goal, right? I want to be perceived as expensive. That is not a bad thing. And I do sometimes work with people who say, oh no, but I really want to make sure I have a price point for everybody. I really want to be accessible. As far as I am concerned, now everybody can do what they want, but as far as I'm concerned, why? Don't do that. Like if you really want to offer like a DIY option, like an easy digital download, whatever, you can. You can. Some people have successful businesses doing that. But if what you love is creating work and working really closely with clients, then you want them to perceive you as expensive and luxury because that's where then the income comes in. So consistency builds trust. When your visuals are cohesive across all your platforms and touch points, you build brand trust. Brand trust leads to confidence. Confidence leads to higher prices, and your brand starts to look expensive. It looks like what you're charging or what you want to charge, and your audience stops second guessing whether you're worth it. That's the goal. So cohesive content equals brand trust, brand clarity equals client trust, and client trust equals higher prices. Okay, so let's talk about the types of content you should be creating and that you need. And you don't need more content necessarily, but you do need the right content. Okay, so in your toolkit, you should have mock-ups, flat lays, lifestyle, like product in use photos, headshots, and behind the scenes imagery, and then sales content. So these would be like graphics, overlays, like the stuff that you're maybe creating in Illustrator or Canva or wherever you like to create that type of content. You need to have all of these things and have this toolkit at your disposal. Because you're not just making content to keep up, right? Like posting every day just for the sake of posting every day. That is not the goal. You want to be making it to guide someone from discovering you to trusting you to buying from you. That's the goal. Is this all landing so far? Is this all making sense? Kendra says yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, fantastic. Yes. Okay, good. Again, if there are questions or you guys are like, no, feel free to disagree in the chat. I don't mind at all. I think discussion is really great and healthy. Okay. So here's the marketing matrix. Where to post and why. So every platform has a different purpose. So if you walk away with nothing else from this workshop, well, there's two things I want you to walk away from. The first one is what we talked about before, and that's, really indulging in your superpower and your energy and discovering who you are as a brand and how to build that in. It's number one. But the second thing is that every platform requires different content. And I know people don't like to hear that because it sounds overwhelming, but you cannot successfully post the same image on Instagram, Pinterest, your website, Etsy, your product photos, and expect great results on all those platforms from that one image. You really need to think through. Now, you can do that. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything if you post the same image on Instagram as you do on Pinterest, but I need you to understand they're not going to be as successful, right, as one another. So that's important to remember. Instagram, when you're thinking about what to post where and why, Instagram is about storytelling and connection. Pinterest is for discovery and clarity. And if you're not on Pinterest, oh my God, tell me in the chat, because Pinterest, I'm thinking about running another workshop on Pinterest. Pinterest is the place to be as a stationery designer. I can tell you why if you're interested. So let me know in the chat. But Pinterest is all about discovery and clarity. Website is all about trust and conversion. And then product pages are where people get the confidence to buy. So you need platform-specific content with purpose. Again, if you treat all the platforms the same, you're going to confuse your audience and you're going to lose sales. You need to let your visuals do the right job in the right places. Okay, so again, let's think about context. I know there's a lot of text on this page. I just didn't want to forget anything. So a Pinterest user thinks differently than an Instagram scroller, and your images should support the context that they're in. So when we're thinking about, and I said design with context in mind, again, I'm using design in a broad way, like designing your Instagram feed, designing your social media feeds, designing your website. That's what I'm talking about right now as far as design is concerned. Your images should support the context they're in. So use vertical always vertical images for Pinterest, stories, and reels. The best performing on Instagram are lifestyle shots, but clear product imagery on Pinterest and your shop. Okay, so now this is not a hard and fast rule. I'm not saying don't ever post like a clear product image on your Pinterest, but Instagram is really like the vibe, right? That's the place people are going to get a vibe of your work. So that's why lifestyle kind of shots work really, really well there. They're scrolling for pretty content. Okay. So that's where like the beautiful flat lays, somebody holding the piece of paper, that kind of stuff. If it's beautifully set up on a tablescape, those types of images do really well on Instagram. And then clear product images for Pinterest and for your shop. And then remember, captions work on Instagram, but Pinterest is click-based. Does that make sense? So on Instagram, you can write a caption that will help support the image, and that might get people like interested to learn more about you. Whereas Pinterest is really, you do need captions, but it's really focused on a clear product image that will inspire them to click. And again, it's not about creating more content. It's about creating smarter content. So here I've listed out a couple of their things. So your website's about trust and conversion. Your imagery should say, this is professional. This is ready to buy. So please, please do an audit of your website. If you have poorly lit images from, like a styled shoot or from a real wedding photographer or something like that, take them down. If they don't fit your aesthetic, if they don't communicate the value of your work, don't show them. And I know we all need content, right? We need images, but content that is not good is actively hurting you. It'd be better not to have it up at all. So I want you to be brutal when you're auditing your Instagram, your website, your product listings. Be brutal about what you're posting because you don't want to hurt your brand. And then the next is product listings need to remove any doubt. Show scale, color, texture. This is not the place for washed out tones, right? It's very, very important. So let's see. Danielle asks, do you have examples of what to post on each platform? It seems really similar. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to write that down. After this workshop, I will send out some examples of what to post where. That's a great idea. And then Kendra, you said if you're starting out, how do you get enough content photos other than mock-ups? I'm an introvert and don't like to show my face. You are not alone, Kendra. Okay, so mock-ups are really great, especially for when you're starting out. So start there. Start with the mock-ups. There are a variety online that can show different aspects of your work in different settings. So like in the Styled Stock Shop, if you don't know this, I also own the Styled Stock Shop. You can there's like table setting images and things like that kind of make it look more lifestyle. So that's a great place to start. You also may want to start learning how to style your own photos so that you can take the types of photos that you need for your business. Styled shoots can be a good option. I say that with a lot of caveats because they can be very, very hit or miss. We can talk about that also at another time. And then relying on real weddings. Okay, so let's talk about things that are hurting your brand. Visual inconsistency. We already talked about that a little bit. Imitating others instead of owning your own style. No strategy behind your visuals. And using the wrong types of content in the wrong places. Okay, so the good news is these are all fixable things. And today I'm gonna share with you some ways that I can help you fix them. But before I get into that, I want to do two things. One, of course, I don't think it's any big surprise, hopefully not, that in this type of free workshop, it usually leads into some sort of offer, Right. So I do have some offers for you guys to help you in these areas that I would really love to share with you, but I'm only going to do it if you are okay with it. So if you could let me know in the chat if I can move into sharing with you the ways that you can work with me, that I can help you with your visuals and with your content, I would love to do that. But again, only if you guys say it's okay. And then I also want to leave some time for questions. Okay, great. I'm getting lots of yeses. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 4 ways that you can level up your content and your visual strategy today. And then I will have some time for questions at the end. I'll close down the presentation and you can ask anything, pretty much, pretty much anything. Okay, so the first thing, and I'm going to drop these links in the chat. So the first thing that you can do, and we talked a little bit about this, is mock-ups. Mock-ups, especially if you're starting out in the stationery world, but also as you like, they should just be part of your toolkit, whether you get them from me or you get them from somebody else. Mock-ups are a beautiful done for you option that are perfect for launching new products really quickly. You'll never run out of content, which is great. And there's so many color options and palettes available in the Styled Stock Shop that you can design your brand to align with your superpowers. So an annual membership is $4.99, and while we're live, I want to give you guys a discount. So the discount is Make It Bank 50. You'll get $50 off of your annual membership. And the first 10 people to join, I'm going to also give you a 20-minute one-on-one aesthetic audit with me. So what this means is we will get together live on like a Zoom call together, just you and me. And for 20 minutes, we will go through your Instagram, your website, your Etsy, wherever you want me to take a look and give you feedback. I can help refine your superpowers, give you some ideas on direction, on color palettes, things that I can see that you can tweak and immediately make a difference. Oh, thank you. I see some people saying, Adrienne, Megan, saying that you love your Styled Stock Shop membership. Thank you so much. I created it because when I was a stationer, I couldn't get good photos. Like, I couldn't find anybody to take good photos. I couldn't find mock-ups that like actually had what I needed in the layout that I needed it. Adrienne, yeah, we'll talk about the audit in just a second. So if you're interested in joining and getting access, there are over now 1,000 mockups inside the Styled Stock Shop membership. So it's a really great resource, and I add new content every single month. This year I'm doing it based off of color themes, which has been really fun. I hope you guys are enjoying that. Are they templated mockups? I think I don't understand the question, Julie. So, for example, what you see here, like this is a real mock-up from the Styled Stock Shop where it is blank pieces of paper. It comes as a high resolution JPEG and then also as a Smart Object PSD file. So you can quickly overlay your design onto the different pieces of paper or the envelope liners or change the envelope color. So like in this example, these are actually white pieces of like little gift tags. And then this image in the middle, you probably can't see my mouse, this image in the middle. And then the PSD file overlays your design and makes it look hyper realistic, which is amazing. And what makes my mockups, I think, different is that all of these elements are real things. You're not placing them, you're not moving them around. Like it's a real photo that you're just overlaying your design on. So if you have any more questions about the Styled Stock Shop, let me know. The next best way is to enroll in Academy de Style. So this is a styling course that I created. I'll drop the link in the chat. And I'm going to give you guys an offer for this as well. So in Academy de Style, it's a signature styling and photography course. You don't need to be a photographer to take the course at all. I teach you how to use either your phone or a camera, but you do a deep dive into the stuff we talked about at the beginning of the workshop. So really how to define your brand, your superpowers, and blend that into your aesthetic and your style, and then learn how to translate that into gorgeous imagery right in your own home. So I cover everything in that course from prop selection, where I actually get my props, to camera settings, lighting, composition, editing, all of it. And it's all in there, and it's just $697. And then if you enroll today, I'm going to give you guys another discount on this. With code Make It Beautiful 200, you'll get $200 off that course, which is insane. I've never offered that big a discount. And a 30-minute one-on-one with me that you can either use as an aesthetic audit or a mini coaching session. So I'm limiting though that 30 minutes to the first 10 people because again, I got to be conscious of my time. So, oh, I saw some. Is that course lifetime? Oh, yes. Yep, Megan, it is lifetime. If you can't get in for some reason, let me know. I can give you access back. Oh, and Evelyn, you said you did Academy to Style and it was very helpful, especially with branding and lighting. Awesome. I'm so glad. So if you want to get into that course, Make It Beautiful 200, you'll get the $200 off and then the 30-minute one-on-one, oopsie, with me. Okay, the third way to level up is a custom photo shoot. If you're like, girl, this all sounds great. I don't have the time. Let me do it for you. It's literally what I love. So, as a thank you for being here live, if we work together to create a custom photo shoot for your brand, I'm going to include a full aesthetic analysis and strategy session. These are usually something I only offer my like annual ongoing clients, which again is something we can talk about if you're interested. But um, what I do is I will work with you and send you a full strategic roadmap that I do a deep dive into your brand for you. And I come up with color palettes, shot lists, all the things that you need, all the content, all the strategy. And then I present it to you in a 1 hour call where we can talk more about it, do a deeper dive. And then based off of that information, we then put together a photo shoot. So just that aesthetic analysis, I charge $750 for by itself. So that is an option that you're welcome to DM me about. We can talk about just that piece. But if you enroll in a custom photo shoot, I'm going to include that for you for free just because you're here live. Custom photo shoots start at $1,200. So it is an investment, but it's an incredible one. And then the last option today is one-on-one coaching. I'm only opening up 2 spots for this because it is really intensive and I give so much care to my coaching clients. I don't like to have too many at one time. But this is perfect for the person who has the content but needs the strategy. So $4,600 for 3 months of weekly one-on-one coaching. And that includes the aesthetic strategy that I just mentioned. So that's $750 value. Only today am I going to include that. And only today will I include a custom photo shoot. So this is kind of insane because the things I'm going to give you for free with the coaching is like half of the cost of the coaching. But so 10 images starts at a $1,200 value plus the free aesthetic strategy. And then you get me for 3 months of one-on-one coaching. Again, I only opened up 2 spots for this because I don't like to have too many coaching clients at once. But if you're interested in any of these things, email me, let me know, DM me. We can continue talking about them. But again, the Styled Stock Shop and Academy to Steal, you can enroll in right now using those discount codes. I'll pull those back up. So the Styled Stock Shop code was Make It Bank 50. I'll drop these in the chat one more time. /join with code Make It 50. Make It Bank 50. So that'll get you the $50 off the annual membership and that one-on-one call with me. Or you can enroll in Academy to Steal or Style, depending on how French you want to sound. And you'll get $200 off the course and a 30-minute call with me. So all really good options. All right. All right, so that's the selling part because of course we all got to make it bank. But I want to stop sharing my screen and then give some options or some time, not options, give some time to answer questions. Megan, no, the course isn't on Teachable anymore. So maybe that's part of the problem. I transferred it all over to my own website. So I will make a note to make sure you have access. Now, what questions can I answer for anybody about the workshop content that we went over, about the ways to work with me and level up? I am here. and ready to talk. No questions? Did I over-explain or under-explain? Adrian said that was all wonderful, just info overload. Oh no, I don't want to info overload you. All right, well, I'm glad you're processing. Again, your top takeaways should be think about your brand and incorporating who you truly are into your aesthetics. Do not copy anybody else. Don't follow trends. Be authentic to who you are, what you love, and who you want to speak to, because that is the thing that will separate you from all the other incredible people who are here today. And what that will do is allow you to speak directly to your dream clients, right? Because, I mean, to be honest, we all have different dream clients, which is perfect. There's room for all of us in this industry. And we just need to do a better job of communicating who we are with who we want to work with. And then when you're able to do that and find that consistency and that clarity, then you also can charge more for your work. Oh, I see some questions now. With the custom photo shoots, is there a time frame you have to do it within for the strategic promo? No, because I don't know either. So that's something we can talk about via email because it's going to depend on your calendar, my calendar, and we can plan it out. Kendra asked, you send a preview of the styled stock shop new items each month. Sometimes. It's just me running my business. So I try to do the best I can with sending out previews of what's going to be in there. If you follow me on Instagram, I do often share previews of what content will be added. But as a member, like you get all the content. So everything that's been in there stays, and then new content is added every month. So you'll always have fresh stuff to post. Megan asked, any thoughts on AI? Yes, I do have thoughts on AI. I actually don't, I'm not afraid of it. And I'm not afraid of it for a couple of reasons. Because people have asked this to me as a photographer, as an artist, as a creative person, like, oh, is it going to replace me? No. And I truly believe that it won't, because this is the best like analogy I've heard on it. With the invention of the camera, it did not eliminate painters, right? And I feel like it's a very similar um, comparison with AI to creatives, just because there is um, a computer, whatever, like there is technology that can do a thing. It doesn't make the human element, the human version, less desired or valuable. And I think actually, in fact, the important takeaway with AI, and maybe we should do another workshop on this at some point, is to figure out ways to incorporate it into your workflow. So instead of saying like, oh, I hate AI and never using it, think about ways that you can build it into how you ideate for a custom stationery suite, or how you plan out your content. Like, what are ways that you can use it to help you instead of thinking it's going to replace you and that it's horrible. I'm not saying that you think it's horrible, Megan, but I think that is like a big thing. Yeah, I think a content topic for another day. How can you get in contact with me? You can just email me. I really do monitor my own email and all of that. I'm here. So here's my email. So anybody who's interested in a custom shoot, coaching, email me directly. We will talk about those things and make sure we're a good fit. And then if you're interested in the course or the membership, you can just go ahead and sign up and use those discount codes. Or you are welcome to DM me as well, and I can help you figure out which one's the best fit for you right now. Any other questions? Well, I recorded this. I'm still not completely confident that I did. I think I did. And I will send out a replay after this, as well as all those offers and links and all the good things. And I cannot wait to hopefully welcome you into the membership, the course, the custom coaching, or photo shoots with me. I would really love to get to know you better and work with you to help just elevate your entire business and like I said, make it beautiful and make it bank. Thank you so much for being here live. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.